So funny story, YouTube universe. We get to the place we were planning to hunt this morning, and I asked Caleb, "Hey Caleb, you got your tag?" Caleb, what was your response?
I didn't have it.
He didn't have his tag. And the place we were going is a little tiny patch of public land surrounded by a bunch of private. So we left to go back home and get his tag, and as we were leaving, another truck was pulling in. So there's no use going back there. So we're in a totally different spot, not where we're planning to go. It's stormy, it's windy. Just gonna glass this and then keep working our way up the mountain and stop and glass. So wish us well. Hopefully we find something. If we do, we'll start getting some video. Thanks, guys. It's been raining all day, the sun's coming out, maybe they'll get up and feed. So there's actually 2 deer bedded. The first one's a buck for sure. The second, I can't tell. I think the second one might be a doe. So we could be in for a long wait because it's only like 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock. But it's wide open. There's no way we can sneak up any closer. And they're bedded, just staring down here. So, but I don't think they've seen us. In fact, I know the second one hasn't seen us. Tell about the first one, so hang around, we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so to give you an update, those deer that were bedded. There were 3 deer, 2 bucks, 1 doe. 1 buck was a nice 2x3. He was, out past his ears, wide, pretty tall. We would have been happy with him for sure. And then the other buck was a little tiny fork horn. He was barely forking. In fact, I thought he was a spike for the longest time. Then finally I saw his forks. So we were just watching. We were just going to wait. We were just going to wait them out. They were bedded when we first saw them. I had to go up and started to feed. And they started feeding away from the property that we're on. We're on a little tiny piece of private property that a good friend of ours from church was kind enough to let us hunt. And they got within about probably 150 or 100 yards of the property line. So we made a play on them. We went around to get the wind in our favor and get a little hill between us so they couldn't see us. We got to the top of that hill. We had closed the distance to about 160 yards. But Andrew shoots an open sight muzzleloader. We don't have a scope on it. It was only a couple of years ago they allowed you to put a scope on a muzzleloader in Utah. But anyway, I don't allow him to shoot more than 100 yards. He's just not proficient shooting more than 100 yards without a scope. So we closed it from 160 to about 140. We were crawling, and then we got busted. We got out on a little 2-track road kind of where we didn't have as much cover, and the bigger buck saw us. So they busted us and hopped over the fence to another property. We're trying to decide now if we want to just stay here. It's about 3, what'd I say, Andrew? 3:35. So we're trying to decide if we want to drive over into the National Forest land and hunt there for an hour and then come back here, at the end of the day, or if we just want to hang out here. So we'll decide here in a few minutes what we're going to do. Thanks for coming along. Well guys, it was a sloppy mess all day, and it's a sloppy mess going home. We had a lot of opportunities. We saw 7 bucks. Andrew ended up taking 1 shot at a 2x2 for about 40 yards. Normally he wouldn't miss that, but he did. So we saw the one pretty nice 2x3, another 2x3, a little 3x3, but he was tiny. He had little crab claws on both sides, and so now I've got about a 2-hour drive to get back home and get ready for church in the morning. But we can't complain. Got to spend a day out in God's creation, got to hang out with my son, saw a ton of deer. And so anyway, hopefully we can shoot a little straighter and get a little closer next time out. Hey guys, just want to do the minute on the mountain to wrap up this video. It comes from Ephesians 5:16, which says, make the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. You know, this video we had several missed opportunities. We didn't get to hunt the piece of property we wanted to originally because Caleb forgot his tag. And because of all the rain, I don't think Andrew's primer ignited all the powder in his rifle. He missed that 40-yard shot. Now, obviously, the passage isn't talking about hunting opportunities. It's talking about spiritual opportunities. The reality is, tomorrow isn't promised to us, so we should make the most of our opportunities. So I just want to ask you, who in your life this week needs to hear that you love them? Who needs to hear that God loves them? Who needs to hear that Jesus came and died for them? So I'd encourage you to do an inventory, find out who you think needs to hear those things, and then take advantage of your opportunities this week. Thanks for coming along.